We are kicking off 2023 with an old world bang. The Warhammer community website has blessed us with an article, and I think there's some interesting hints in there. However, it all seems to go against the rumours that we've heard. So let me jump in and we'll talk about it. So here is the premise of today's article. The Old World Development Diary explored the war-torn lands of the world that was. So they talk about how they first did their cryptic announcement. It wasn't really that cryptic considering they told it was coming back in 2019, and that it's been a while. And we're going to hear from Rob Alderman. Now, I'm not going to read this word for word. If you want to do that, read the article yourself, basically. There's a lot of lore in here, and I'm definitely not a lore guy right now. It's something I'm thinking about getting into, but I like some of what we read here. The Old World team has dedicated countless hours to research and playtesting. Well, we'll see if that's true. Our goal was to create a game that captures the best elements of the editions of Warhammer Fantasy Battle, but at the same time providing new and exciting rules and fresh challenges to overcome. I like the sound of that. The rumours that I've sort of been hearing is that the game at the minute, while it's being playtested, is a little bit bloated. I'm really hoping they can streamline that while still providing new and exciting rules and those fresh challenges. I sort of feel like those fresh challenges are going to be more missions. I just sort of feel like we're going to go to a more mission-based game where there'll actually be objectives you need to control and stuff like that. Just a theory. I don't really know how true that will be. And then we have an image of a flagellant from the Empire, looking pretty cool, not gonna lie. And then they're not wrong about this, the Old World. One of the most important aspects of Warhammer the Old World is the setting itself. I'm pretty sure for a lot of people that's the most important thing. For me, it's like, I don't know, 50%, the game will be the other 50%. So basically what they're saying here is that it's important to remember that the Old World definitely does end up getting destroyed, but the end times had been foreshadowed in the background of Warhammer Fantasy Battle. Fair enough, that's cool. And then we have some Empire, when I say rangers, I mean range people. We have one with bows and one with a pistol and a sword. I've got to say, looking pretty sexy. Then they move on to talk about the Great War Against Chaos. They want to examine the events in the history of Warhammer in more detail than ever before. And they say that if they went too far back to the War of the Beard or the time of Sigmar, for example, the setting would become unfamiliar. But we find out exactly how old the Old World is in comparison to the end times or Warhammer Fantasy, as this led us to the events well known to fans of the Old World, the Great War Against Chaos and the Siege of Prague, 2 centuries before the end times. So basically 200 years-ish, 200, 300 years before the end times, that's when the Old World is set. I think I'd heard rumours that it was like 400 years. Well, now we have official confirmation, right? So it's important to know that this Chaos Lord, Asavar Kul, he led his armies south and against the nations of men and dwarfs. The Empire of Man was not the unified nation that faced Archaon in Warhammer Fantasy. It was deeply divided. We have another Empire guy looking pretty swish with his mustache and no beard. Well, it is a beard, but you know what I mean. No middle parting of the beard. I'm guessing that has like some proper names. I just don't know what it is. Then we learn about anarchy in the Empire. Following the death of Emperor Manfred von Zelt, they can't come up with a successor, right? For more detail here, it says, thus at the time of Warhammer the Old World is set, it's the years before the Siege of Prague and the Empire stands divided. And there's a few factions vying for control of the fractured realm. And we're going to go and have a quick look at them. We have the Barony of Westerland. These are merchants, and you can see the sigil here. We have the Grand County of Osterland, home to the Wolf Emperors of the North. We have the Principality of Reichland and the Grand Duchy of Talabak. In Warhammer the Old World, we discover an empire weakened by centuries of civil war. There's beastmen Brayherds, there's orcs and goblins, and of course, north of those, we have Asavar Kul, the Chaos Lord. Then they go on to talk about how the Empire ultimately becomes unified under Magnus the Pious, but they're still saying that there's stories to be told. Now, what I want to point out here really is the fact that they're talking about these 4 main Empire factions, and they mentioned the phrase civil war. We've been led to believe due to rumours that the core set is actually going to be Bretonnians versus Tomb Kings, and a bit of me just doesn't see how that aligns with what we've seen from all of the updates that we've been given on the community side. There's been the odd picture of Tomb Kings and the odd picture of Orcs and Goblins, but it feels like most of it is revolving around the Empire factions. The map is very Empire focused. This article itself is very Empire focused. Yes, we might get like Bretonnians. I guess that sort of makes sense. Everything in my head sort of seems to be pointing to an Empire versus Chaos box set. It just sort of would make a lot of sense. Or even an Empire versus Empire box set. And we could truly have a civil war. Does this article really tell us anything of like valuable information? No, not really, but it's giving us more and more hints, I think, to the setting. It would feel so weird for me for them to just be like, oh, actually it's going to be Tomb Kings. Not Kislev, where we know we're going to get armored burrs. Not Chaos, where we know that like the main story is Warriors of Chaos, this lord coming down from the north. Not Empire, where the whole thing seems to be focused on. Bretonnians, I guess, are being mentioned here and there, right? But Bretonnians versus Tomb Kings. I could sort of see maybe like 2 boxes, but maybe not at launch. Maybe we will get an Empire versus Chaos box, and then we'll get Bretonnians versus Tomb Kings. Maybe that's the way they'll go. Maybe they'll do the stuff like they're doing with Kill Team and Warcry, where they'll release a box maybe every 3 months for the first year. Something like that would be absolutely dope. And I don't know why I just used the phrase dope, but I'm stuck with it now. Well, I guess technically I could edit it out, right? The actual images, perfectly fine. Anybody who's really into the story, like, I apologize for butchering it. I don't really know it. It's something that I'm possibly going to try and learn. Well, there's not much else I can do right now. I can't play the game, for example. But all of the images and stuff like that, they look incredible. Let's hope that this is coming this year and hope we'll see something at the 40th anniversary, right? So not that much actual raw news here. I never really know how to tackle this kind of update, but I do think it's like hinting at the setting strongly. It's Empire versus Chaos. That's sort of the big fight of the century, right? Or even Empire versus Empire. So I don't know where we're going. Maybe it will be Tomb Kings, Bretonnians, but yeah, all of the stuff we're seeing from Games Workshop themselves seems to be in one direction and the rumors seem to be in another. This could be a year and a bit away, so maybe they've got time to change that. Let's wait and see. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you want to support me and help me grow the channel, there is the option of becoming a Patreon. There'll be a link in the description below. What you should definitely do though is have the most beautiful day. Like and subscribe. Goodbye.